Ladies and gentlemen, Tesla crashes, gets the absolute, brakes beat off of them, the EV brakes. So let's just take a look at that. We're going to talk about Tesla today right now. So far, still kind of keeping this bigger turn. We're still kind of making lower highs. But today gets absolutely wrecked. So here's the expected move, and today we get the meltdown to 2 standard deviations, and then a little bit past. The momentum just carries it. Did not mean to do that. So looking at now, we almost made it to that 3 spot. The expected move was 1332, which 3 standard deviations. So we got about halfway mark right there. Would have put us at 234. So we got anyway just outside 2 standard deviations. I know there was a giant sell order. We could see that in the options. Just a bunch selling in general. There was a giant buy order for people buying the dip. But I gotta say, I would watch out for that. Monday and Tuesday might be green. But as it sits right now, jumping up into that yellow zone, I would say you're probably more looking to continue the downtrend. For me to think this is just going to be bullish and headed to all-time highs, Monday we'd have to gap into that zone, send it like an absolute rocket. So I would be careful. If you guys bought the dip today and you went for it, let's check the RSI. So I call it the really stupid indicator. I do that just joking, but yeah, RSI is oversold, so you know somebody's clicking the buy button on it. So you got a few sets of buyers. You got people that went short. Their position probably is on the moon if it's kind of a short-term play. So if you bought that dip and Monday's green, I'd take it easy on the all-time highs talk, because that might just be just a confirmation right into here, and then shorts load the boat again, and we bring this thing down. Overall, kind of looking at this picture, here's our high, here's our low. This could be a lower high. So are we looking for a lower low? Kind of right around maybe that $200 mark, which would be good. Something I've talked about with my group right now is, one, let the bears do their thing. If you're buying, let them do their thing. Until it bases out or you know, shows some kind of buyers. Like, don't be the first buyer, you know, because that's how you just get steamrolled. Wait for that thing to base. You know where to put your stops. If you're trying to catch a knife, yeah, I'd keep that allocation light. Personally, what I'm doing, if you're like on the Patreon or anything like that, then you guys know, I'm not buying options right now. So anything I'm in an accumulation phase for the rest of the year. So I'm going to accumulate shares. Tesla and Nvidia, I did grab some more today. Meta and Microsoft, those are on the list. But I don't want to give myself any expiration. I want to have that. You know, in every set of 100 shares that I have, I will sell calls against it. So I'll still be making money on it. I don't want to just watch money go down. But when it's just blasting down like this, there's really no need to just start dropping in huge allocations of money. You can kind of just let it chill. Like right now, while I am buying shares of Tesla, if it pops up into this yellow zone, and I don't see any other reason why I wouldn't maybe grab a put or a put spread. Maybe I'll sell some call spreads, but either way, there will be some sort of, at this point, it'd just be a hedge, because it would just hedge against my shares. I'd probably just grab some naked puts. I'll keep them short dated just to kind of play this trend right now. Overall, if you're bullish, here's our leg down. So here's our leg down, here's our leg up. We're kind of overall squeezing. So if we don't break the 215 mark, maybe we bounce here at this zone and kind of bounce up. At that point, we have 2 lower highs and 2 higher lows. So we'll end up seeing, like, let's just say, let's just draw it out. If we melt down to here and bounce, you know, at that point, we would be thinking something like this. We'll watch that squeeze. If that were to play out probably for the rest of the year, I would be bullish. I know there's a lot of talk right now about how the recession is going to be next year, and that talk's always around. There's always the bears. They usually come out on red days. It's funny because someone actually commented on my other channel. He gets made fun of a lot over here, so he doesn't come on this channel anymore. Comments on my other channel, and he only comes out when it's like a red day, and that's it. He's been bearish the whole time. He hasn't had an actual accurate call out. So be careful of anybody in the comments. I know they're the real professionals. Watching other YouTubers teach you how to trade. Anyway, watch out for that. Bears do tend to get a little excited, but right now what they do have on their side is a short-term trend down. So I didn't see any news. I didn't see a Tesla caught on fire or anything like that. Nothing wild. We know Kathy Wood is selling, but she's not moving that much. It would be interesting to see if we see a report of Elon selling. If we got that report out after Elon said he wouldn't this year, you'd probably watch an absolute, first of all, emotional meltdown by the people who own Tesla shares. And I can't imagine what shares would follow after that, after he said he wouldn't. So watching that, and today kind of, we actually closed. This is a weekly zone right here. We did close just below that. So right now, as far as markets go, are we going to make it down to this kind of brighter yellow zone right down here? And that's kind of where that's where I would like to catch a knife as far as that goes. But right now, until the buyers actually show up with some conviction, it is kind of a short to rally. And I wish I was coming on here to tell you guys how much I made going short. I actually missed most of it. Fighting it. I went long a couple times just in futures. Shares, I'm still buying, but in the so futures account is where I'll trade like intraday, and ultimately like we'd get a little oversold. I'd buy it, it'd pop up. I'd put my money in the green, and so I made money, but would have been a lot better had I just went short, kicked my feet up on the desk. So shoulda, woulda, coulda game on that one, but certainly would have been nice. But either way, right now. I do think we are, and by I think, I mean here we are in the downtrend. If Monday's green, you really have to, you can judge a lot by the bears by how green the green days are. And if we were to just get a pitiful bounce like this, probably like that's probably like the conductor saying all aboard before we do melt down. If the buyers showed up like they forgot the market was open on Friday, that might be a different scenario. Like, oh shoot, hold on, and then they just show up and send it. If you have to ask me like, hey, was this the bullish day you were talking about? That's not bullish enough. I mean, they need to show up like, so once we get below this yellow zone again, this was my pivot spot, kind of bullish above, bearish below. And right now, we're just jacking around this stupid line. We're ultimately just bouncing between these two zones. So you guys have seen this, so let's hang on, I'm gonna tone this one back down. All right, so we are right here. So that's kind of where we stand right now as far as the NASDAQ. Incredibly sideways. Would not surprise me to even see us hang out there the rest of the year. Again, I'm not expecting fireworks. Before the sell-off happened, I was having this talk a couple times here on YouTube, a lot with my mentorship group, but imagine that. So we were up here and everybody's talking about, all-time highs. There's even guys in my chat talking about all-time highs. Yeah, that's cool. I think we're going to get that leg down, and then imagine the bearish news we're going to get to actually get that leg down because everybody's feeling good. And we do get a lot of stuff piling on. They paused. We still sold off. There's a plethora of news out there. But the buy the dip crowd was just really persistent this year. So again, when everybody starts really talking about being bearish, I can typically judge it by the YouTube comments because the bears, they only come out when there's a red day. They really do it. It's because they lose money a lot. I haven't really found a successful, first of all, I don't know if a successful person that has time to get on the internet and like troll like that. That's how you know they're poor. But you'll see them come out in droves. That's about time you want to buy the dip. And I imagine we're probably pretty close to that spot. We got a couple showing up on the channel. So other than that, if the trend is your friend, let's just make friends right now. There's really no need to get wild or crazy with it. More red candles than green, short it. This is not financial advice, but like I said, anything I do, I'm buying. It's just in shares. I'm accumulating shares. Nothing heavy because I can rock whatever storm the market throws at me. I'm not doing any options because I don't want to give myself any expiration until we get a clear defined direction. When we make moves, like pushing up wild or pushing down wild, I do sell puts and call spreads. That's just on the option selling side. But right now, as far as like trying to buy the dip or anything like that, I'm not buying any calls. I just don't know if that's the best time. Theta is probably going to destroy you on that. And I got one more question. This is a very specific viewer out there. PokeVault, are you watching? He shouted out he said my name in one of his streams, and I can't remember if I even told him my name or if he just knows the Don Franz show. Anyway, it'd be super cool if you were. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you beautiful people on Sunday, right after the Futures Open. Have a good one.